Hello Flosstube, welcome to my channel. This is Michelle from the Day Before This Day, Day Before Michelle on YouTube and Instagram. Today is Wednesday, February 26th, and this is Flosstube number 4. I don't have a lot to share today. I've stitched like twice in the last week. There's just been a lot of other things going. Painting has started in my new stitching room. I was fighting with a little bit of a head cold. I'm still a little stuffy, so I apologize if there's, the sound, I might lose my voice or crack and whatnot. But yeah, that's just things. Time goes by really fast, and my husband works 1 week on, 1 week off. So he works 12-hour shifts when he works, but then he's home for 7 days in a row. And we try to do a lot of our together things then. So last week was his week off, and well, I don't get as much done because I'm spending time with him. So I don't have a lot to share. I've only stitched a little bit. I know I already said that, but I gotta get back in my train of thought. I did do some thrifting. There's no regular haul. And since I haven't been up here and I haven't been stitching much, I haven't watched a lot of Flosstube. I did want to make mention of a couple of new to me Flosstube channels. Most notably, Two Martini Stitcher. I recently discovered her through Michelle Bendy, and oh shoot, it's a mother-daughter duo. I know that Witch is in their name, but I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'll have to link them below in my description box. So let's get into it, shall we? As I said, there's hardly any stitching, so I don't have any finishes or FFOs. I have continued to work on Spooky Row by Bent Creek. And again, if just in case you didn't catch the last episode, because I'm moving my stitching room, you're going to see a lot of printed out pictures because I'm not unpacking all of my charts. Sorry, not sorry. There are totes of charts, and I'm not going through them for right now. Once they're unpacked and put away in here, that will be different. So here is my progress. Last time, actually I'm not entirely sure what I had last time, but I am currently working on this last pumpkin. When it is finished, I will have 6 letters and the vulture left. I did make some changes. I didn't have a couple of the floss colors, so I swapped out. I think I'm using bamboo instead of whitewash. I am using the right oranges, but I swapped out onyx for a limited edition color and cotton, and soot for eggplant. I'm really enjoying this. I had hoped to have it done before this video, but it doesn't happen when I just haven't had time to stitch. So I'm going to push because I would really like to finish this before the month ends. It's part of my Whipco board, and I haven't finished my 10-hour in my garden, so I would like to finish one of the goals, and this would be a finish. So I'm also a member of Stitch from Stash, and while I've been doing really good, I'm still at $32.96 to the good. And I'll get another $25 budget Sunday. But market bills are going to start being due the week after. So the more finishes I can get before the market bill comes due, the better. And let's just talk about market, shall we? So this will lead into plans again. I had had a number of charts that I had seen from Market that I was like, okay, I gotta have it. And I was doing my preliminary pre-order, and then Brenda Gervais happened. She posted some previews on Instagram, and oh my goodness, I have to have them all, even the coffee one, and I'm not a coffee drinker. Gotta have them all. So I went through and I removed all of the other charts that I had been going to order. Well, except for one, I'm still getting Michelle Bendy's You're Okay, I guess. And filled up my Market budget with Brenda Gervais. So in light of that, I have decided that this is going to be the year of Brenda Gervais. And I welcome anyone who's working on any of her designs to join me. Hashtag Year of Brenda Gervais. I'm going to try to start a new one. Every time I get a new start from WIPGO, it will be for Brenda, with one exception, and that's Spooky Row, because Spooky Row, I'm going to start the next row that I've got kitted up. I've been looking forward to it too much, so I have to stick with it. So right now I have one Brenda that is a whip, and that is the Pink Sparrow sampler. So I will continue to work on that. That was my birthday start last year. So I'm going to be pulling it back out and putting it in main rotation. And then when I finish my 10 hours on In a Garden, I also get to start something new. So I am going to start Stars and Stripes. I love this chart. I think it's just gorgeous. I like the girl, the bird, everything about it. So I actually found this. I had never seen it before, and I was at one of my local quilt shops, and she at one point had some cross stitch and punch needle designs that she was selling, and she had put some out, the very last of what she had, out on markdown. It's like, I didn't even know she sold any. I don't tend to look at patterns, so or at least not there anyhow. So when I saw it and it was 15% off, and I was like, okay, that's really cute. So I had to get it. And shout out to Terry from the Laughing You. If you're in the Columbus area, and we have a lot of quilt shops to check out, but if you're in the area and you haven't been to Canal Winchester, the Laughing You is just outside of downtown. It's between the shopping area and the downtown shopping area. So it's right on one of the main roads that go through Canal. I highly recommend it. She's a sweetheart. So yeah, stop in. Tell them I sent you. So those are my plans. I did have a couple other things as far as plans goes, but I guess that I'm just going to have to look at it as a March Madness kind of thing, because all of a sudden I've got all these, okay, I'm going to start this, I'm going to start that. So I've got like start all the things. But some of them I want to start, but I might wait. It's a matter of I do want to start them, but realistically I don't really want to add a bunch of whips to my pile until I get some things done. So I'll just have to play it by ear. When I was gathering things last week, because I actually wanted to do this video last Thursday or Friday, but again, things just didn't work out. And lighting in here with that bright blue is very difficult, so I really needed to wait until we started getting some lighter color on the walls. It's just that the blue in some areas would drink all the light, and in others would reflect it, and it was not working. So hopefully things will start to get better now. Anyhow, during that time, I had been going to share one of my kind of like a mini designer spotlight. So one of my favorite designers ever since I discovered that these designs were such a thing is Teresa Winsler. And some of you will know her for all of her, you know, elaborate and full coverage and blends and gorgeous artwork of the big projects. But she, much like a lot of designers, started off doing magazines. And because I've been a collector for 20 years, a good 20 years, I am fortunate enough to own all but 3 of her designs. One of which is like the unicorn of all unicorns, because it was only available during 2 people who went to Fantasy Fair in Canada back in the early aughts. Maybe the late 90s, right in that area, right in that that 90, 99, 2000 ish range. And that was called You Were Hatched. And if anyone has it and is willing to part with it, please let me know. If it is in my budget, I am all over there. I am there for it. But anyhow, as much as I love her designs, I've actually only ever stitched and completed one. And this is called Geometric Pincushion. And this is from, I believe it's the Country Stitch Monthly. It was part of their coffee break section. Pretty sure it was that. A lot of her earlier designs were from the Country Stitch Monthly magazines. And if you've never seen one, this is... but I love it. It's the only one I've done, but that's okay. I'll eventually get to... I've actually started Fantasy Triptych, but I can't find it. Those of you who are new here, and by the way, if you're new here, welcome. I'm glad you decided to check me out. If you've come back, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope that you like this video and will continue to come back. So anyhow, for those of you who have not seen any of my previous videos, about a year and a half ago, maybe up to 2 years, I started to finally be able to bring all of my cross stitch out of storage. So I am still sorting. I'm still shopping my basement is what I call it, because I've had to bring things up a little bit at a time, and then I was running out of room in my sewing room, so we decided to create a stitching room, which works better for me, because then when I'm done sewing, because I sew for Etsy and I sell from there, I can leave work, and it's actually, I've left work, so it's really kind of nice. But anyhow, somewhere in my basement, there are still some totes that have a couple more whips, Fantasy Triptych, and I think it was English Garden Welcome that I had started. Those were 2 of the last things to get put into storage. So they weren't with the rest of my whips. I need to find them, but in the meantime, they're not on my whip list because I can't work on them. And now I've rambled and I've lost my train of thought. Yeah. So while I was looking through some of the magazines so that I could show you some of the designs that I was considering stitching, or just sharing some of her older things that you might not know was hers, I came across a couple that I have to stitch right away. There's a better picture of this somewhere. There it is. So I don't know how well this is going to show up. I don't know. You see the Tulip Basket? It's right here. It's a really small design, so I think I could get it done in probably a weekend. I don't see any blends, which is very unusual. But it's only 49 by 49, so I probably will stitch this up because it's kind of Eastery, but it's also just, because it's tulips, but it's also just spring. So probably. And then the other one that I wanted to show, but I'm not going to be trying to stitch this one this year because there's just not enough time to keep adding all these whips. But because Easter's coming up, I wanted to show this one. This one's called For Sale. And those bunnies in that wagon are just adorable. Adorable. So yeah, she did a lot of designs for Country Stitch. I mean, like this copy, which the tulips and the For Sale is in the May 1989 issue. And then, so there were 3 of her designs in this one. There are 3 of her designs in this one. So like there's this little welcome. Some of them I'm not a fan of, but I thought these little ducks were cute. But I think you get the idea. And this was the September 88 issue. So while I was perusing through my through my magazine collection of hers, I came across a couple designs that were not Teresa Winsler's, but that I decided needed to be highlighted, showcased. And the first one is, it's by Phyllis Hoffman, who, incidentally, if I recall correctly, is the publisher of the Country Stitch Monthly. And it is called Peace on Earth. And it's a Christmas sampler. Is that not cute? So when I finish Christmas at Hollyberry Farms, I will have spot for a large Christmas design. And I think I'm going to stitch this one then. And this is December 88 issue. And the design is not, I mean, it's not small, but it's not huge either. I absolutely love these magazines. They're so nice because it tells you what page. You don't have to thumb through them all. I know some of the older ones didn't, is the reason I mentioned that. So this design is 150 stitches high by 154 wide, which in the grand scheme of things, not huge for a sampler. You know, if you stitched it on 18 count, it's or 36 count, it's 8 3/8 by 8 5/8. So yeah. So that I'm going to kit this one up, and then it's going to go into my waiting pile for when I finish Christmas, which Christmas is Hollyberry Farms. I've got like 5 holly leaves done, so it's not like I'm going to be finished anytime real soon. But the number one new start that I will be starting as soon as possible will be for the new grandbaby. And Lauren, you don't have to not watch this part. It's not a spoiler of any kind. This is a generic design, so I'm not, you're safe to see this. This is from the November 1988 issue, and it's called The Lesson. And what this is the tortoise and the hare. And I thought that it was adorable. And I have a really cute idea for finishing. I'm not going to say anything about it right now because I have not seen anyone do one. So I want to wait until it's finished. You know how it is. You get an idea. No one else has done it yet. You want to be the first. So those are my plans. Are we on time? We're at 19 minutes. I am so sorry. I need a drink. When your head's stuffy, I'm thirsty. So those are plans. No haul, but I did go thrifting. I went just one day, and I get my friends talk about how lucky I am, and I am. I'm lucky that I can go fairly often. I may go weeks before I go. I mean, I may not go for thrifting for weeks. Then I may go every day. Well, okay, not every day, but every week for, a month or two. Or I may go a couple times a week. It just depends on what's going on. Whether I'm in the mood, whether, it just calls to me. But I have been being really lucky with what I've been finding. So this past visit wasn't a bad visit. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, look at all the stuff I got, but it wasn't a bad visit. The first thing I got was this tiny little decorative frame, and it's actually not one that you're supposed to like be able to take out, but it's just on there with staples, so I'll pull that off, and that's so tiny. I just thought it was adorable. It was $1. Okay, $1.29, but still. And then I found another trivet. I don't need any more trivets. I was fortunate enough that a friend of a friend had a huge stack of them that she was going to be getting rid of. And if no one wanted them, she was going to take them to the scrap pile. And so I made arrangements to have her ship me a flat rate box full. And so she sent those to me for the cost of shipping. And so I have a lot of them. They are in waiting for the chance for me to get them cleaned up because they'd been sitting outside on her porch for a while. So a few of them have started to rust. Once I do that, I'm going to be putting some of them in my Etsy shop to share the wealth. I'm not looking to, break the bank for anyone, but I don't need. I've got like 25, 30 now, and I don't need that many. So, anyhow, sometime soon, I'll let you guys know on one of my videos when it's time. The other things that I picked up was I have a Save the Stitches. Oh, the glare. I'm sorry for the glare. There's just no way around it, is there? This is not really my style, but the stitches are gorgeous. It was stitched on Aida. It's framed really nicely. This is probably 10 by 11, I want to say. But it was only $2, and it is going to go live with my friend Drew. He loved it, so this will be going to him. And I'm really happy that it's going to go to someone who appreciates it and really likes it. Another thrift find, now that it has fallen over, was this little shelf. It doesn't look like much right now, but it's going to get a nice little paint job, and it'll be cute with some little pin pillows and like little ornaments hanging from them. So this was $3. I'm going to mount a cross stitch here, I think. We'll see. As soon as spring gets here, because I have so many projects. The other two things that I have, one was actually an auction item from one of my friends who has an auction group, and then the other one was a marketplace pickup. So this was my auction item. And it's nothing fancy. It's a cute little, it's got a chalkboard up here, and then this chicken wire. And the reason I got it is because this little chicken wire is so dainty. It's so cute how small the chicken wire is. So I'll be taking this off, and I don't know. I think I might stitch a welcome and maybe do like the seasonal prairie schoolers or something there. I think something I can swap it out, but we'll see. By the time I'm ready to use it, it might have changed. And then my last purchase was from the marketplace, and I've started styling and it's not finished. I still got some work to do. There. Yeah. See. And this is an old vintage paper log roller. If you're not familiar, basically you would feed your newspaper or sales ads through, and it's got a winder, and it would wind these really tight paper logs for in your fireplace. And this one has wrought iron ends, and it's just really cute. There's no stitching in there yet, because when I was working on pulling things out for in here, it dawned on me that most of my stitching is holiday themed. So I have to do some more generic, because I've got very few items that are not just seasonally themed, but actual holiday themed. So that is on my plans for this coming year, is to do more regular stitching. And I think part of that is because I have such large, all of my projects that are larger are just normal. They're not themed, or they're not seasonal or holiday themed. And so I tend to do smaller things in the holidays because they're done and I can decorate them with them then. I don't know. But, so yeah, we're sitting at 26 minutes, which means I probably talked way too fast, and I do apologize. I feel like there's more, that I'm forgetting something, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm hoping to be able to record again next week for a regular Flosstube. I am, when I'm finished here, I'm going to put all this away, and then I'm going to get all my whips out and go ahead and record a whip parade. And probably will upload it for the weekend, because I want to get this video up today. That's why I'm watching the time so much. If I have it for under a half an hour, it should be good. And then I want to get the whip parade recorded this afternoon, so that with that long of a video, it's much more likely for me to mess up and need to edit. So yeah, but I feel like I'm just stalling now, and I don't need to. So I will see you again, hopefully over the weekend. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And until next time, happy stitching.